Welcome, I'm Mateen Syed. I have the pleasure of welcoming Gopal Srinivasan. He is the chairman of TVS Capital Funds India. He's also a serial entrepreneur who started 9 companies before this fund. And you're watching this on TiEcon Live. Welcome to TiEcon Live. I'm Mateen Syed. I have the pleasure of welcoming Gopal Srinivasan. He is the chairman of TVS Capital Fund from India. Gopal, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you here. I was just talking to you a little while ago. You are a serial entrepreneur in the truest sense. You started 9 companies, which are family-based companies. This is your 10th venture.
That's correct.
I just want you to expand on your experiences as a serial entrepreneur, although it was based in India.
I think this is a great time to be in India. With a $1 trillion GDP, we're going to hit a $4 trillion GDP in 2025. So when I looked at what to do next, I said, rather than do my own thing, I found there are such wonderful entrepreneurs all around me. Why not give them access to the TVS platform of experience, networking, capital, and help them be more successful and obviously do well for our investors in the process. So that's the reason I chose this, to enjoy this $1 to $4 trillion upsurge that is happening in India. Young, bright entrepreneurs are ready to take advantage of it, and we're there to help them.
You know, I asked this question to other venture capitalists who have set up shops in India in the last few years. The challenge is to find the right entrepreneur. It's a little difficult because the ecosystem doesn't exist in India yet. They are not entrepreneur savvy. They reach to venture capital money is limited. US is private equity. Do you face those challenges, or do you mentor them before you actually go and start to looking to fund them?
Mateen, I think we have one advantage. We are from India and we have operated only in India. So in some sense, our access to information, people, and our credibility in the group is quite different. The only ecosystem we know is the Indian system. So we don't compare. We just pick really good entrepreneurs and go after them. We've just raised the fund, and I'm happy to tell you we're getting excellent entrepreneurs coming to us. Even if you bet on 1 out of 25, I think we're doing fine.
What is the amount of investment you look for on the high end?
We are looking at to invest about 50 to 75 crores. That's about, I guess, 12 to 15 million US dollars per investment opportunity over a period of time.
Okay. You had the advantage or sometimes the disadvantage to have family businesses. The challenge is very different, very unique that you bring to the table. When you look at the current crop of entrepreneurs, do you find those similar traits, or do you think the economy and the culture has opened up so much that they're better prepared than you were?
I think the people I'm talking to are about, I would say, 10x better prepared than I am. Enormous self-confidence in themselves, very different from 30 years ago, all very well educated, which is also quite similar to what it was. Indian families have invested well in their children, so we have really wonderful raw material to work with right now in India. And also we are a rupee fund, so we're quite different from most of funds operating in India.
But the challenges still aren't very dissimilar to other funds, because the entrepreneurs that you take up who are starting out probably for the first time, or maybe they have probably done one before that, you think they are prepared to take this venture that you're trying to invest in forward? Because like I mentioned before, the mentoring needs to be there, because they could be either good at their, inventing a product, they could be good in marketing or sales, but there's certain areas where you need to come in.
Yeah. Actually, our whole program is based on, we look more like a management company with capital. So it's providing experts, providing mentoring and coaching, and providing capital. So I'm fully with you. In fact, their need is for management enhancement with capital, and not capital with some mentoring. So I always tell entrepreneurs who come to us, think of us as a management company, because you have the full access to the experts and network of TVS with capital, rather than a private equity company with some management support.
When you compare it to the Silicon Valley ecosystem, where do you think you edge out, you stand better in terms of grooming new entrepreneurs, investing with them?
I think the fact that a large group like TVS has a huge access to experts, we have ability to open doors throughout the country. We have many of the people who worked with us in various different capacities to come and work with venture partners. So our ability to bring expertise and talent, I think, is much more than a Silicon Valley venture capital company of the same size. Obviously, there are large companies here which can do that, but that's where we differentiate. Second is, when we are going to operate, we're operating in smaller towns like Nagpur, and Coimbatore and Trivandrum and Vijayawada and Kakinada, there we find again that the Indian companies who used to operating in India perhaps are more acculturalized to this, and I think we do that probably very well.
Okay. So you just talked about the tier 2 cities where you're trying to go and hunt for the talent, and there's a lot of raw talent, a lot of energy, a lot of excitement. Okay, there is not so much finesse, which I'm sure they will get eventually too. The question is, when you look to invest and you pick these entrepreneurs, can you tell us about 3 good traits you look at these entrepreneurs?
It's very simple. We don't look for finesse. We look for raw energy. We look at the level of passionate belief that person has in that particular future. And we look at the person's ability to work with a team, to lead the team. I think these are the 3 most important traits I look for, at least.
Okay. With that, thank you much for the opportunity. Appreciate that.
Thank you, Martin.
We have been talking to Gopal Srinivasan. You're watching this on TiEcon Live. Don't forget to watch many more interviews to come on mytiecon.org. Thank you.